Okay, now we have viewers online and we have people in the studio who are thinking about their life, their ministry, and fatherhood covering an apostleship.
That's right.
Now, help us come down to it. Are they supposed to pick their fathers? Are their fathers supposed to pick them? How do they identify their fathers in ministry?
Yes, Paul said that you have many instructors, but you have one father. Now, just like the example you gave, somebody comes to you and said, I want you to father me.
Yeah.
The truth is, from what we learned and scriptures, you don't choose your fathers. In the natural, the invisible things of him are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. So we see intangibility from tangible.
That's right.
We're able to comprehend the immaterial from the material. So we can say that you may not even like your father, but your father is the one who gave birth to you. Now, let's look at the dimensions of fatherhood.
Your father is the one
who gave birth to you. So you had a father before you knew it.
That's right.
You didn't grow up. Now,
You didn't grow up to choose your father.
yes, even though there are adoptions. So
right.
now that's another dimension. But let's start from the plenary, in the sense that many times we think we can choose fathers. That's why today that person is your father. Tomorrow that person is your father. You know.
Anybody whose
Yes.
Twitter handle number goes up
is my new father.
Yeah. Anybody who's more Instagram follow.
There are fathers who are mentors to others, not necessarily fathers to them. How do you understand that this father, he's a mentor to me? He didn't birth me spiritually. So now, let me now quickly mention this. So for clarity purpose, we have spiritual fathers, and then we have ministry fathers. A spiritual father is someone who gave birth to you spiritually in the things of God. Galatians 4:19, my little children, of whom I travailed in birth until Christ.
So, sir, is it correct to say where you got your initial discipleship, the person who nurtured you first in the faith, is your spiritual father?
Is your spiritual father. Your spiritual father might even be a farmer somewhere. My spiritual father is not my ministry father.
I get it.
My spiritual father got me started, brought Christ to me, but I didn't learn ministry
from him.
My ministry did not come to be through my spiritual father. My ministry came to be through my father in the ministry.
So is it okay to have as many fathers as you have dimensions to your life?
There might be. Now, we sometimes, now this is how you know the ministry of a father remains relevant in your life continuously. The timelines of the relevance of people in your life defines whether they are mentors or they are fathers. In terms of the period, you see, he was your father for 2-3 years, and all of a sudden you just realize that you don't feel the relevance because he was not really your father. He was a mentor. Even though he's a father, he will continue to be a father to his true ministry sons.
Rev, this is where a lot of the problem is.
Yes.
A lot of the problem is here. I feel connected to you. It's for this season. I vibe with you.
You are a father. You are a father and my mentor. How do I say that? This person is a father and my mentor.
Because a lot of times the problem is, how do I drop you when it's time to move on?
You know, that's the thing about relationship. Now we're talking about the dynamics of fatherhood.
Because I may have mistakenly called you. I wasn't in this sphere's conference.
That's right.
I didn't understand the definitions, the dynamics.
That's right.
But colloquially, in the religious sector, anybody who leads you is a father.
That's right.
So I've knelt for this guy. I've served this guy. He's my father. He has imparted me. He's laid hands on me. I've done ministry with him. I've served. We traveled together, and something happens. Maybe I get a call, an extension in the call that I have received from the Lord that requires that I make a detour.
That's right.
In ministry, and then the Holy Spirit starts to highlight a new crop of people.
Because you're in another phase.
Am I supposed to add them to this person? Am I supposed to tell them, excuse me, sir, you're now mentor, this is father? And this is where a lot of young people mess it up.
Mess it up, that's right. And not only a lot of young people, of course, we're focusing on us, we're focusing on the generation. It's not in our place to correct our fathers, but we can look at the scriptures, and because sometimes fathers too don't want to let go. To say, after all I did
it's not easy
for you, now you don't want to go by my name anymore. Now, that's where wisdom comes in. How do you manage? How do you move on without walking away? You see, there's a difference between moving on and walking away. I can move on but not walk away. And this is where wisdom comes into play. You have to be a wise son. You can close the door without locking it up, without shattering the relationship.
Without banging it.
Yes, I can tell someone, and you see, let's say it this way: God will continue to bring people, depending on the kind of ministry. There's no general rule, because this is not objective. It can be very subjective. Some of us, for example, in my personal experience, ever before I met certain people, I am who I am today because of the deposits of people that just meeting them like this just changed my whole life completely. Every dimension of grace in terms of ability for spiritual operation and ministry performance that you need to discharge your calling is in many ways coming to you through the encounters you have with people.
That's right.
Saul needed a Samuel. David needed, Samuel needed an Eli. We can go on and on. Timothy needed a Paul. Paul told him in 1 Timothy 12, that gift came. Now, in 2 Timothy chapter 1, Paul now separated between spiritual fatherhood and ministry fatherhood. So Paul writes to Timothy and said that the unfeigned faith that was originally in your grandmother.
Yeah.
So the grandmother of Timothy was his spiritual father.
That's it. Ooh.
Because the faith of Timothy, in terms of his faith in Christ and spirituality, came and was birthed through the influence of his grandmother.
So his biological grandmother,
that's right,
was his
spiritual father.